Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to our A to Z of Christmas. And today we are on the letter O and we will be making an opening present, but we'll probably call it an open present. Now, this will eventually be a 5x7 card, but to begin with, I already have a 5x7 card base up here, out the way, or on standby, shall we say. But first of all, we need a white piece of card, or any piece of card actually, it doesn't matter, this won't show by the time we're done, of 4x7. And on the back, I've got a single layer of foam tape, and I've lifted that one up. You might have noticed I've lifted that one up, and you'll see why in just a second. Now, on the other side, I've already done it just to save a little bit of time. I've wrapped it, well, I say I've wrapped it, I've put some wrapping paper, because this is a gift, I've wrapped it with wrapping paper, or put some wrapping paper on it. But you can put your pattern paper on there if you like, that's absolutely fine. And I've actually used some card. This isn't ribbon, I couldn't find some ribbon thin enough, but I wanted it to tie in with my box top, or my box lid, which we'll come to in a minute. And so this is just two pieces of scrap card, red card, cut down to, this one is 7 by 1/4 of an inch, and this one is 4 by 1/4 of an inch. But I will put all of these measurements down in the description box below. I appreciate there's quite a few measurements in this one, so I will add all of the measurements down in the description box below. And so for a minute we're going to turn it over, and now I'm going to show you why I've lifted this one, because this is where we're going to place the hinge for the lid. So you will need a piece that measures 2 inches by 1 inch, and you will need to poke a hole through it. And all we need to do, in fact you need another piece which measures 7 by 1 inch, and you need to poke a hole through that. What I did with this, I'll show you how I did it. I lined the two up together like that. I used my scissors and I just poked a hole through like that. And in just a very short while, you'll see why we've done that. So as we've got this piece up, I've got a piece of, I've got a double piece of double-sided tape on that side. And what we're going to do, we're going to turn this over on the good side, and we're going to try and line that up with one at the edges, so that that hole, don't know if you can see that, so that the hole is just above. So if I put it like that, perhaps you can see it a bit better. That hole needs to be just above there like that. And then we can pop that on there like that. We'll take this off at the last minute almost. Now with this other hole, what you need to do, you need to grab yourself a brad or a split pin, whatever you like to call it. And we're going to pop that through there like that, hopefully. Now this one has got a flat end, so it's a bit difficult to put through, but that's all right. And then we do the same and pop it through there like that. And then of course all we do is we open up the tabs like that, or the little legs. But you won't see any of that. By the time we finish, you won't see any of that, so don't worry about it. Don't think, oh, that doesn't look very tidy. You're right, it doesn't. But by the time we're done, you won't see it, so don't worry about it. You will need another 1 by 2 inch, and this is the pull tab. And I've just used an ordinary Sharpie pen and written the word pull on there. And for that, I'm just going to use, oh, I beg your pardon, you couldn't see that. I'm going to use some red runner tape, because it doesn't have to be very strong. You can put some glue on top of that if you want to. But I'm just going to run that behind there like that. And you'll see why, as almost at the end of the card, you'll see why we've done that. Now we need to turn it over again, because what I should have mentioned at the beginning of this video, and I forgot, which I apologise. This is going to be, it's a wrapped present, but we're going to have a real gift inside of it, and we're going to take care of that in just a minute. But because it's a present, we need a tab. We need a gift tag. So this one says, best wishes for Christmas and the new year. You can use whatever you happen to have available. I just nicked this off of an old card from last year. And I've used a bit of sticky tape to stick a piece of cord, some twine on the back. And I've used a foam pad, not foam tape, but foam pad, because I want this to be put into place. So what we're going to do, we're going to just slide the lid out the way for a minute, turn it over, And we are going to make sure we get it the right way around. So actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. It might be better to get it where we want it first of all. So if we lay it down, so I want mine about there, but I want a little bit of this bit. I want a little bit of the cord to show. So we're going to pop that like that. So once we've got it where we want it, that might be the easiest way of doing it. I'm going to turn it over and I'm just going to put another little bit of sticky tape on the back. Don't ever let anyone tell you can't use sticky tape for crafting, because you can. So there. So that's what we're going to do. And so once you turn it over, it'll all stay in place. It won't flop about. It'll stay like that and it'll look wonderful. Now, this is where we get to put our gift in. Well, I've got a little embellishment to put on the top, which you can do if you want to, but that's totally optional. We don't need the scissors anymore. But what I've got here, I've got a little gift card, which is actually out of date now because it was one that was given to me, which I'm ashamed to say I actually forgot about. But what we're going to do on that one, I have got over here something I rarely use. And so I've actually not much of an idea of how strong they are, or even if it's going to work, but we're going to try anyway. I've got some glue dots, but I don't really use glue dots, but I thought it might work for this project. So what we're going to do, on the back of there, and I think I've put that on the wrong side. Yes, I have. Well done, Dawn. So that was today's deliberate mistake. We're going to put it on the front of there. So we'll start that again. So I'm going to keep that in. So just to show you how not to do it. So make sure, if you're going to do this, put your glue dots on the right side of the gift card, not on the wrong side. Otherwise it'll end up coming back to front. So we're just going to put one there. And I'm going to put another one, if I can get it off. Let's just tear it off because it's a bit long. It's a bit like trying to play with a snake. So there we go. And what we're going to do, I might actually, because I've never done this before, I've never used these before, it's not something I use. I'm not sure how strong they are. So we're going to bung another one in the middle, just in case. So I'm going to pop another one there. So just push it down, pull it up. So hopefully that will stick. And so we're going to tuck that more or less in the middle, like that. And that will slide down like that, hopefully, over the top. So that will go down really well. So you can actually see a little bit of it sticking down. So now this is where we bring our card base in, our 5x7 card, and we turn it over and we take off the backing for the foam tape, and it's come off really well. We turn it over again and line it up. I'm going to line it up with the bottom, so the bottom edge of the mat with the bottom edge of the card base, and that sits there like that. That can come down. It could have come down a little bit more, but that's all right. We don't mind if it's partially open because it adds a little bit of a mystery. Now, the last thing, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but in my stash, I found a little bow. It's actually a bow that you'd use on packaging. It's not an embellishment, but it is now. It wasn't brought as an embellishment, but it is now. So you can use anything for embellishments. You can use whatever you like. But this is a beautiful little velvet bow, which I thought was quite posh. So I'm going to put that on there, but I'm going to make sure that it sits within the confines of the lid. Now, usually when we do this, we would glue that down. Now, do yourself a favour, folks. Don't glue that bit down, because if you do, the lid won't come up. You won't be able to lift the lid. So if you do pop a bow or another embellishment on, that's absolutely fine. Just don't stick it down to that to try and make it look all perfect and neat, because otherwise you won't be able to open it. So we could have moved it over a bit to hide the card a bit. So we've got a card or present that's just peeking open a little bit. We could have put a piece of pattern paper behind there, but we won't worry too much about it. What you could do, if you're really worried about it, is lift that up a little bit and put some paper in there, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's such a small piece. So when your recipient opens it, they've got their card, which will stand very nicely like that. And so not only will it stand nicely, but when they open that, there's a pull tab, so they'll pull it and out pops their gift. So when they open it, they've got a gift card that they can use. And then that will slide in quite nicely like that. And I'm so glad that those glue dots held out, because I didn't know whether they would. So there we go, guys. There is our O for opening present. And I hope you enjoy this and indeed have a go yourself. It's very easy. Once you've got all the bits and pieces measured out, it's very easy to do. So don't let it worry you. Don't let all these measurements worry you. I'm going to put them in the description box anyway, so you'll see them. You won't have to worry about it. You won't have to think, oh, what did she say? What was that measurement? Because it'll all be there. So there you go, guys. That's our O for opening present. And I'll just give you one more peek. So you pull the pull tab and out pops your gift card. And then they can just, hopefully, yes, that'll come up. That'll peel off quite nicely. I'll just show you. That'll peel off quite nicely. I won't do that now because I need to keep it on for another demonstration for another channel. On my Facebook page, I need that on. So I shouldn't have done that because it'll go, oh, there we go. So it'll still come out quite nicely. So there you go, guys. There is our O for opening present. And I will see you tomorrow for the letter P. And I hope you can join me for that. And if you're a subscriber to my channel, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. If you've just drifted by, we're in the middle of an A to Z of Christmas. So if you haven't subscribed yet, but you're enjoying this particular video, please do click that notification bell and the subscribe button. In fact, it's probably a good idea if you hit the subscribe button first, then click the notification bell. And then you'll never miss another video in this series or indeed any future videos that come up. And so I will see you tomorrow with the letter P. So pop back and join me for that. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.